just encourage anyone who struggles with this or anything like this, or where they can switch and not know who that person was, whether you see that or someone else. Don't listen to the internet, the YouTube comments. You need to get help in order to deal with it. And I know how to deal with mine, and I've been diagnosed with traits of lots of things. I've said this multiple times. Disorder. Are you diagnosed with something? Are you bipolar? Are you schizo? And I'm like, honestly, I've never been diagnosed with anything. The closest thing that I have self-diagnosed myself, I guess, is multiple personality disorder. I don't care. I spoke my truth, and if it's my truth that doesn't bother you, which I thought was the issue, and maybe it is for some people, if it's how I said things or the way I word things, that's on you.
Trisha Paytas joins us today along with psychotherapist.
So I'm accustomed to educational content, and Trisha Paytas does not qualify.
Saturday night is the loneliest night in a week, 'cause that's the night that my sweetie and I used to...
So one of the many people on the internet today claiming to have DID happens to be Trisha Paytas, which honestly I think comes as no surprise to anybody watching this video. She made some controversial videos about 2 years ago claiming that she had this disorder, also uploading a very distasteful video showing off her absolutely amazing acting skills. Now, Trisha Paytas may not have DID, but honestly, she's guaranteed to be a huge successful actress one day. I mean, with acting like this.
Hungry and thirsty.
She's definitely going down the road of winning an Oscar one day. Now, obviously, a little bit of time has passed since this, so Trisha Paytas is doing what she does best and bringing up an old dying subject. A lot of people were very upset 2 years ago when she was making these claims, probably for two reasons. One, making them, 55-minute video where she just rambles on. I would be pretty upset myself, I feel like, after wasting 55 minutes watching a Trisha Paytas video. But mainly because she had never mentioned this at all. She self-diagnosed, and some of the symptoms that she was claiming just didn't make any sense. Well, it's been a few years since then. Has she learned her lesson? No, not really. She's been uploading videos again with her new husband while they've been on their honeymoon. They've been making these really long, awkward, weird videos, but in some of them, she's talking about DID again. In fact, in one of the videos, she talks about DID being very similar to the movie Split. This is honestly DID fake creators' favorite film at the moment, being up there with the likes of the new Marvel Moon Knight. I'm sure we're gonna get a lot of Moon Knight alters, I can assure you, in the next few weeks, from a TikToker called Kenji or something, who's 12 years old with colorful hair. Let's go back to the complete start on why people were angry with Trisha Paytas. So Trisha made a video a few years ago, sitting down, turning the camera on, claiming that she had DID, and almost comparing it to having superpowers.
And so it's been in my mind, and I was like, oh, it's weird. It's like almost like being, let's say you have a superpower and you go to like freaking the X-Men university, but you can't tap into your superpower. People are gonna think you're a liar, and they're gonna be like, you shouldn't be here, but it really sucks because you know you don't belong in normal school, so you're just like, well, I should be here, but I just can't show it.
But it was frustrating to her because no one was believing that she had DID until she caught it on camera, which happened to be in the exact same video while Trisha is saying all of this. From an outsider's perspective, this is obviously fake. I mean, if you're saying you're having issues trying to capture this on camera and then 10 minutes later, miraculously capture it on camera. The remaining bit of the video is honestly the most awkward mukbang video I've ever seen. In this video, you have Trisha Paytas saying she's hungry while dropping a cup, then walking around the kitchen while eating all the snacks. Basically, POV of me coming back drunk at 4 in the morning. It was obvious to a lot of the viewers who watched this, they all got pretty upset with this.
After educating myself more about DID, I understand how offensive and disgusting the whole thing is. As somebody who has DID, this is absolutely insulting. This disorder stems from intense, long-lasting trauma experienced as a child, and the fact that she is making fun of that really pisses me off. She sounds like she just Googled what is DID 5 minutes before filming. Why does her switch caught on camera look like straight up possession from a hungry ghost? I like that last one, by the way.
So, what did Trisha decide to do after the whole internet went against her? Well, she took down the video, of course, following up with a 52-minute rambling video. You know, what Trisha does best, in which she then starred on this program, exclusive The Doctors, in which that whole 52-minute video, they took one small snippet of her apology and made a whole episode about it. Now, what was the small clip from this enormous video, you might be wondering? Was it a part of her saying sorry that she didn't have DID, that she made the whole thing up, or she just regrets uploading that video in the first place? No, don't be stupid.
I identify more as like a gay man because I like guys, but I also identify as a guy in a different body, completely in a different gender body. Probably not.
Shocking. In the same apology video, Trisha Paytas claims that she's always been a man and identifies as a man, but could she do the transition? I don't think so, she says. Now the internet are angry because Trisha Paytas is transphobic. So you have this story here about her faking DID, doesn't mention that in the slightest, and the whole internet seems to drop that she just made fun of a real disorder that when people suffer with, it literally destroys their life, because Trisha can't decide whether or not she wants to be a boy or a girl. So the doctors come in to help. Honestly, I'm pretty amazed that they managed to go from this massive subject of her faking this disorder, switch it into this, and people still called it entertainment and watched and forgave Trisha. I mean, that is the biggest scandal I've ever seen on YouTube, and I mean, that's pretty incredible. Like me coming on here saying I have cancer, then I say, well, no, I don't, so I make a 1-hour apology video, and then in the same video I say, guys, I actually identify as Crash Bandicoot though, and all my viewers go, oh, okay, cool. And then I proceed to go on Dr. Oz and all is forgiven. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I'm actually losing brain cells while making this video. I need to see a doctor soon.
All types, and as far as my gender, I do identify as a male, and if there are people that are uncomfortable with that, I'm not sure what to say to that other than this is how I've always felt since a very young age, so.
Well, what were some of the responses that you got to that first video that we just watched? What were people saying to you on your YouTube channel?
Just coming for me, just saying that I was looking for attention or clout. I mean, the thing is those videos get demonetized now on social media. Like, you don't make money off of those videos. Anything LGBTQ, anything mental disorders, you can't make money. So everyone just discrediting me for thinking that I would use something so serious. My audience is all LGBTQ people, like, to that I would mock it or make a joke of it. Like, that really offended me more than anything, or that I'm a joke because of how I look. And
imagine that. We have somehow offended Trisha Paytas. She's actually offended because we're offended. Amazing. I like how in this clip as well that they've completely ignored why she made that video in the first place. I'm amazed that Trisha doesn't quite understand why everyone is still angry with her. You know, clearly playing dumb here. Get it, guys? They seem to be mad because I identify as a man, but I don't want to turn into a man. That's why they're angry. No, I think they were angry more addressing the other fact on that you pretty much made fun of people with DID. Made a video in which it looked like you had just Googled it 5 minutes ago and made a 20-minute video telling us how you suddenly have this disorder. I think that's what people are more upset about. And then secondly, Trisha says, stuff like this doesn't make money anyway. Why would I do something like this to make money? It just doesn't make any sense. That's not like me. All these types of videos and content actually all get demonetized. Well, that's funny because out of the last 50 videos I've done on these topics, not one of them have been demonetized. It sounds like Trisha Paytas is telling porkies again. And even if that's true, her video did get demonetized, doesn't really matter. The publicity you'll get from saying something like this is very apparent right about now, as we see a lot of kids on TikTok making this. And yes, on TikTok you really do make no money. 1 million views can get you $5 if you're lucky, but yet they still do it for attention. Look at some of these TikTok accounts. They've been blowing up recently from faking mental illnesses. It's all the trend these days. So anyway, this goes back and forth for a little bit with Trisha Paytas talking about her DID that she doesn't have, and then it just kind of goes silent. That is until a few months ago, where Trisha was on a happy little honeymoon, and while making this video, she decides to bring it all up again. You know, because seeing how well it went the first time, we might as well talk about this subject again.
Where the guy has like 8 personalities and he kidnaps those girls downstairs and he's like,
Oh no, not yet.
that's another, I think that's M. Night Shyamalan. That's another movie. People though who have the identity disorder, they said they did not like that movie because they said we do not switch like that. But people do switch, like, not to get into this controversy again, but online people switch like that. So like the movie seemed accurate. I don't know, people probably cancel me, but people are mad because they're like, that's not how DID works. I don't know.
I've never seen roleplaying.
You had it? You don't think me? You've seen me switch, so that's what I'm saying. Do you believe in it?
Well, it's different. It's like,
I think it's the same.
well, I think the only difference is like in your case, it doesn't have a name. You know what I mean? Like it's not the personality that shows up and is like, hi,
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Stacy is here now. You know what I mean? Like that's the only difference.
But if I named it, then you would know. You'd be like, oh, that's...
I mean, I know when that persona is here, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So when I did the original video thinking I had it, because like I watched a video of someone saying they had it, I was like, oh, that kind of sounds where it's almost like a different person and you're like, you kind of like know it's like not wrong, but I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like not this person, and it's like, oh, I wish I could stop, but you can't stop it. Like, and granted, mine's gotten like way better, but like I do think I have something like that, because they say like if you watch that movie, we should watch it because I actually like it. Like they do, they switch. It's just like it's hard to explain, and it's like out of nowhere, and you're just like, dang, I wish I like didn't have to be that way. Mine comes from more like panic or anxiety. I feel like it's kind of like a baby syndrome where I'm just like I don't know what to do, so I just like
It makes sense. I mean, that's the time.
trauma response.
But what isn't it also like somehow like BPD or like there's a relationship between?
Yeah, that is called something too, but I don't know what. Like oh, like a I don't know, trigger, blackout.
Because I remember people in Israel, people I grew up with around that had that. And again, it wasn't personality, but more like closer to like a blackout, PTSD of some kind.
Or something just like switches in your head.
I always feel like it's the same thing with Trisha Paytas. I feel like when you think you have something as serious as DID, maybe not going onto YouTube and talking about it, saying that you definitely have it without being diagnosed, it just doesn't seem like the right thing to do. No, because this wouldn't fly with any other sort of health scare. Imagine finding a lump and then you just say it's cancer, but you don't get it checked out, so you just self-diagnose. A lot of people would probably call you stupid for not seeking help and trying to get that sorted. And then for someone to have as much power as they do online as Trisha, with the big following she has, it obviously sets a bad example for other people watching. I mean, I don't know what her like demographic is, but I'm assuming there's probably 10 to 15-year-olds mainly watching this, right? Well, Trisha self-diagnosed, so I could do that as well. And that's why now you're popping up and watching all of these other people pretending to have this disorder, because something that Trisha said may resonate with them, but it was never diagnosed in the first place. And that's when you start to have the issue of people not really taking this serious as a whole thing. So maybe some of the videos on TikTok may actually be true. They might actually have DID, but now because people have made so many stupid videos on it, claiming to have it as they ultra SpongeBob SquarePants, it's suddenly not a very realistic thing anymore. I'm not saying she's a terrible person by any means. I know she's not, but I'm just saying I feel like when you have a big audience like this, you have to be a little bit wary on what you're really telling your audience. But I know Trisha likes to sit down and kind of ramble for an hour, probably not watch what she's just recorded. I mean, how could you? And then just post it onto YouTube, and there you go. But anyway, boys and girls, hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button as it helps out the channel. Also, let me know down in the comments down below what your thoughts are on this, what your opinion is. But anyway, boys and girls, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.